Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you about another film, 1917, starring, George Takei Scott? Yeah, George Takei Scott, what the hell? Directed by Sam Mendes. Also has a supporting cast of Mark Strong, Benedict Cumberbatch. There was another actor. Yeah, it's a story about a man who, two soldiers must travel across the state or across the land to send a message to their team. I think across the German. I don't remember exactly where they were fighting, but two soldiers travel across the land during World War One to send a message to their fellow British troops that they're going to be running into an ambush. Yeah, there's no text messages. There was no technology like that 100 years ago. 100 years ago! 1917, 100 years ago, believe it or not, this happened. First off, I feel like when the hype of this movie was kind of building, when it was released, it quickly died down, and I don't think anybody else is really talking about it. And I think this is a very unique war film that I think it's either you like a love it or hate it kind of thing, because it doesn't really have war scenes than what you're normally accustomed to. The movie is done to make it look like it's one shot, similar to Birdman. It's kind of like, yeah, it's one shot. So you'll see certain action sequences where it feels like it's just mostly running and chasing, which is basically kind of what half of them are. Where it's either running or chasing, or you have the main character running away from some sort of explosion and oncoming fire. Like a cat and mouse game. That's mostly what you see in this war movie, and it's actually kind of fun, kind of unique, but it does feel like kind of like a video game. Kind of like those, what is those kind of video games on the side? I forgot what they're called, but it feels like a video game. The whole one shot feeling with this movie, it feels like you're playing a video game. The main actor, George McKay, and if you guys didn't catch on, he was the youngest brother in of the Belsky brothers in Defiance. Now you see him grown now. You see that dude grown, and he is pretty amazing in this, man. And it's actually kind of from what the trailer sells you. You see that there's two guys, and then in certain shots you see one. I think that's kind of not giving away a bit, where a little bit of a spoiler. His teammate dies, but it's more, I guess, on this amazing journey. And I think the film is based off a true story of Sam Mendes' ancestors, of the film director's ancestors. So he thought it was, he wanted to tell a story of his family tree of one of his relatives serving in the war, which was, honorable. It's very unique. Really, I think this movie was fantastic. Cinematography is great. The acting, the action sequences were cool, but also it does feel like a little bit of a gimmick where it's mostly just run and shoot, because it is done as a one take kind of movie. So there's certain there's you're not gonna have like your typical war kind of like movie where you see multiple cuts, multiple like surroundings of seeing like just chaos. You're centered just on one guy and his perspective on from point A to point Z, reaching his destination. And the movie is very straightforward, pretty much. Like, this is a rarity where I feel like you understand the story and you understand like enough clearly where you understand what's going on in the first 5 to 10 minutes. And then it kind of just gets there and, gets to the point and does what the plot needed to do. which most stories should. But I praise that certain filmmakers like to be experimental. This is also experimental for trying to do a one take kind of like action movie, which is rare. You don't normally see that. You mostly see it with dramas, but to do it on a big budget like Hollywood movie like this, to make it look like one shot, which might be, I don't know, daunting for some. I found it I found it very I respect the hell out of the filmmaker for achieving such a impossible task, or at least a challenging way to tell stories by trying to make this, especially this specific genre, a one shot kind of like movie. And it's very cool. It's very cool. Actually, there's a really good scene in here where I actually like the Hayward Stranger version. I like this version of the song, to be honest with you. It seems very, I don't know if melancholy is the right word, but it seems very, I don't know. I like it. I guess the really only cons I had about this movie, it felt like a video game. And I noticed where certain movies feel like they try to do a one shot kind of like way. Gravity didn't, but to me, that also felt like a video game. I also feel like that movie was underrated as well. But this one, I feel like the hype quickly died down right when the movie came out. And I don't know. I feel like this might have been, I don't know, divisive for most people, but I thought this was a very unique film. 1917. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.